knowledge is power. If you don't have the knowledge of these things going on, you don't have the power to do anything about it. Ignorance is not an excuse.
I don't think it's right or fair that we have to come and beg and tell you that the building's on fire and you people have a hose and nobody's going to put the fire out. Maybe when it comes to your door, maybe you guys will wake up and think, hey, or maybe better yet, I'm beginning to think that maybe everybody's in bed together because nobody's doing anything, and this is absurd behavior. It's not right, it's not fair, it's immoral. And I don't understand why I have to keep coming back time after time begging for your help.
All of us asked to please contact us if you wanted more information and facts and photographs. I'm going to take a survey here. Will you raise your hand if any of you bothered to call us or anyone that came up to speak?
Hey, ma'am.
Raise your hand.
Ma'am, you need to address your comments to the chair.
My name is Jeff White. I'm a property owner, business owner in Oakland County. I wanted to start out by stating to you that I wish I would have never heard the word trustee or priority personal rep. I wish the facts and stories I'm about to share never happened, but I'm out here for the 4th time today. I've been to a few other meetings. You know, Albert Einstein said, those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act, and I am out here asking for help from you guys.
Is that not your job to protect the citizens of Oakland County from corruption, from harm? And yet I get nothing from any of you. I'm shocked by the behavior. I don't know what to do anymore. How many people do I need to go and get that have been harmed by the court? What's the magic number? 1,500, 1,000, 5,000? Because this has been going on for many decades. This just didn't happen to me or Jeff or Christine.
One of the ladies is from Indiana. I'm trying to get her on the phone. The other lady is from Kentucky. She's trying to get on the phone. And there's another lady from Chicago that is in here. They're coming. It is a state problem right now that is happening in our Michigan with our judicial system. And we are the purse strings here, that you pay these people to do their job. They're under a code of conduct, and we have canons that they are violating.
Initially, my 3 brothers and I, thought our experience must be a one-of-a-kind horror show. It was just our bad luck and an unfortunate series of circumstances, an exception to what we believe to be an honest, just court system. But no, over time, I came across more victims, and it's over this professional abuse throughout our home county. I realized that this unfathomably horror process was all too common and by some of the same so-called professionals. After September 13th, 2018, in which I witnessed my wife, which is not out here today, get threatened the 3rd time for just being present in the court venue and hauled off to jail. Because why? I don't even know today. I've hired a criminal attorney. Y'all must be standing there going, wow, she must have done something. I even asked that question today. I'm still asking for what the charges are. And all I get, well, the one sheriff told me, well, we'll make something stick. That's what he said to me as they were hauling her off.
Following my mother's bruises, we showed pictures, I believe they were sent to you, of Jeff's wife. Bruises that went all the way up her arm from her shoulder to all the way here. Huge purple bruises caused by the sheriffs who were told by the judge to go arrest her because she was on her way to file a complaint because the judge was not using the canons.
I am totally taken back by the corruption that goes on in Oakland County Probate Court. They self-govern themselves. There's nobody telling them what to do, and they take advantage of their platform. They do not use the canons that are put in place to protect the citizens. The courtroom is our courtroom. It's our venue. We get to go in, and we're supposed to be protected. And these people that have a license are stealing from us. And it's just not from the elderly. It's from handicapped people, anybody who has a big purse
I
string.
really question the judges, the trustees, the guardians, and some lawyers in this county court. I believe they have developed a systematic playbook to be used in generating and perpetuating an immensely lucrative business. These industry insiders have easy and total access to our lives and assets of unsuspecting individuals who potentially need help managing their affairs because of something called their incapacity to function on their own. Again, I'm turning to you guys. We need help.
It's real simple. It's corruption at its finest.
We all pray for a long life in hopes that we are, in our golden years, we will be spent in comfort, harmony, and peace, and that all our assets, money and property, we all have accumulated over lifetime will be distributed to or inherited by our loved ones as we wish and see fit. But in this county, no matter how well you have planned, no matter how much you have or do not have, there lurks a serious shadowy threat to every elderly citizen's well-being and the execution of their end-of-life wishes. And this threat is coming from professional, trained lawyers. And I have an empathy for all those who have experienced this all too powerful court-based process. Over the last few meetings, we did get directives in which, for us litigants, to follow. And we have followed that process, and we followed those directives to only find that the probate administrator, Ed Hutton, wants to wash his hands of this. So we're pushing up the ranks to a lady by the name of Maureen Schumann. I believe it is in our hopes to get a meeting with the Honorable Judge Ryan. Again, it's the fourth time I'm out here. If you guys are still getting letters of disinformation, please share them with us due to the facts that this probate court here is going to all lengths in order to fight tooth and nail to protect their so-called turf, their power, and their easy access to my family's money, and it could be your family's money. My wife's in jail over this, or she was. She's out on bail now, and I will prove her innocence. I am asking for a lot of things through freedom of information, all the so-called information that comes on cameras and things of this nature. I don't know what they're claiming, but please help us.
Again, I was here last time as a citizen of Wayne County. I actually won my election for state rep candidate. So I'm running as a Republican candidate, and under Article 11 in the state constitution, we're supposed to be looking for corruption. It's a role of a state rep. I have asked for Mr. Hutton to help us. He is the probate administrator. I'm being followed by the sheriff's department, and I don't like it. They stand by me, they breathe over my shoulder, they startle me.
Chairman, you were kind enough to give me Chris Ward last time that I was here. Really nothing has come of that, what I followed up on the state level. So I'm coming back to the commissioners on a county level here. I know he did give me a letter from some of the judges that spoke about misinformation coming out of the probate court. I wish they would elaborate on that misinformation.
But I think if you have specific instances, which it sounds like many of you do, I believe those also should be formally documented and provided to the Chief Judge Kate Ryan, who is the Chief Judge of the Probate Court. However, secondarily, the State Court Administrative Office is separated from the courts. Their duty and their requirement as an agency is just to ensure that the courts are accountable, etc. So if you haven't gone down that path, we have some information that we can share with you so that we can make sure we're chasing the issues in the proper places.
Judges and Mr. Frazier and Ehrlich and Munger. Mr. Munger was fired from our Attorney General. How come he's here working and getting cases? Barbara Antelucci, why is she working here at the court when she's under investigation for criminal activity? Most people are out on bond or they're in jail, but they don't have a job working in the courts protecting these judges. That tells me they're all in bed together and they're all corrupt. So what are we going to do about it? What's it going to take? Can I get anybody to help me? Any answers? Or are we all going to sit blind and mute while they continue to pillage the people of Oakland County? Thank you.
And just for the record, public comments meant for the public to comment, and we're noting those comments. We don't engage in public comments, not part of the policy or practice. So just so that everyone understands that.
The judge has to use cannons if he wants to sit on that bench. He wasn't using them, and she went to go file. Because she was going to be a whistleblower, she was attacked savagely and has bruises up her arms. The sheriffs lifted her airborne for no reason, didn't even tell her what she was being arrested for, but they, like puppets, did what the corrupt judges told them to do. Yesterday, I went into another courtroom and saw the same thing going on. Because the judge didn't like hearing what the person had to say, she said, I'm going to call the sheriffs. And sure enough, 3 sheriffs showed up.
That on 9/13/18, I was here in the courtroom here with my wife, and she had some other additional business that she was doing in the courtroom that day. And there was an assault that took place there, and this assault took place between the police officer and my wife, and the officer did assault my wife. And the reason I'm out here today is because I know that there is a multi-million-dollar camera system here. The Sheriff Department is choosing to provide, just snippets, editing of what took place with my wife. I don't really appreciate that, but I do know that this is a multi-million-dollar video system you guys have. So I'm asking here tonight if I can, ask someone to preserve that video for me today. I know that Mr. Dwyer, you do head up a committee by the Public Service Committee, and I know part of that is to reform, review, and make recommendations regarding law enforcement matters. I'm just asking, please, if you could preserve this actual film of 9/13/2018. It's imperative that you do this time. I know my wife has asked for it in an email to everybody the day that the incident happened, and I have FOIA'd the request under the Freedom of Information Act. So I'm asking you please to help me if you can. I found it very, very odd that, Deputy Thine, the gentleman that was in the altercation with my wife, he actually went to the judge to ask to do a mental evaluation of my wife, to see if he could get a mental evaluation. That was in the police report, to take her away. So I just found that very odd. But the whole thing is blown up so out of proportion, and I'm asking you guys to look into that probate issue more and more every day. I think there's going to be more people coming towards you.
Because people are going through the hoops to the right sources, but we're finding the sources aren't listening. And instead of bruises and lacerations on women who do nothing but are trying to whistleblow and help everybody else, they're going to shoot somebody.
If you could conclude your remarks, please.
It is concluded.
Thank you.
Wake up. Knowledge is power.
Our property's in foreclosure. I was in here for a show cause hearing with Judge McMillan. Oh, it wasn't this beautiful building. This is when we did it with the treasurer. We were in some cramped little courtroom up in the circuit court with McMillan, and they had a bunch of us cattled in there, hot, stuffy, and they were taking our property from us, and we're with the public administrator, and he didn't pay our taxes.
And I think you're aware of it, where people are losing properties with the public administrators here. I know that my public administrator that's seen over my father's estate has not done an accounting since 2016. These individuals are being harmed by these public administrators. And so I invite you on any Wednesday at 8:30 and start viewing what's going on in this probate court. But I want to comment on one individual that surrounds all these public administrators, and his name is Joe Ehrlich. And in 2005, he was sanctioned in Macomb County for his misconduct.
All I'm asking is for you to please help us. This is not only happening to me, this is happening to other families. And it's not fair that we have to fight for what is ours and have to go up against these judges and attorneys that know the law, that use the law, for them to take our assets.